Welcome in. Take a breath. You are among people who get it. Nothing forced, nothing scripted. Just real stories and a space to reflect. Let's get to it.
When we say we are women, we mean that we are brave, we are strong, we are capable, we are unique, we are woman to woman.
Oh yes, we are woman to woman in 2026. Good afternoon, South Africa. Good afternoon, Africa. Mandisa is joining us for the first time. Good afternoon to you, Mandisa.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Marcia.
How is the pressure of being here?
It's gotten to the point.
This is the time of the year that students who have written their matric are preparing for the first year. Those who have already studied second, third year, going to the final year, are getting ready because, in 2 weeks' time, varsities are opening throughout the country and pressure starts. Do you think it's a lot of pressure just to write matric, to secure a place in varsity? Today, you're going to hear so much more. And I hope that today's program will also prepare you as a student and help you as parents, as, supporting system to help those who have been or will be to that situation. So I want to invite you all to meet, besides Mandisa, our guests of today. Good afternoon to you guys.
Good afternoon, Miss Marcia.
Hi, my name is Mugela Mhlonga and I am currently doing my second year in BCom Accounting. So my hope for this year is that I manage my time better. Last year was very bad, so I'm hoping that this year things become better, and I'm also hoping to make new friends so that I can have more people to interact with during my lunchtime. Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Aliza and I am currently doing my third year in BSc Geology, and my hopes for this year, which is 2026, are that I make it to honours, I qualify for doing my honours degree in geology, and that I make myself proud.
Hi, this is Tando and I've just completed my degree in biological sciences and I'm about to start a new one. I'm excited, so my hopes for this year, 2026, are that my course will go exactly as I researched and looked at, and that I will enjoy it, and that my funding is not going to give me any problems, and that I'll be more disciplined than I was in the previous degree, and for a good year in general.
Hi, my name is Slundus Melane and I finished my fourth year in chemical engineering last year, and for this year I'm hoping to be working and hopefully to get a bit more sleep and a bit more chilled year compared to my last year of varsity last year.
So now that you met our guests, and funny enough, we have one first year, second year, third year, final year. So they are going to give you different levels of pressure point. But also I brought Mandisa here because she has been to that situation with a different level of pressure point. Tell us a little bit of what happened.
So, Mrs. Marcia, growing up, we are three siblings. I have an older brother and a younger sister. So in school, they would always excel. They'd do well, especially my younger sister and my older brother. They were very promising in their studies. And so my grades were not as great as theirs. So already it was pressure for me from primary going on to high school. But I wouldn't fail, but I always felt like I could do more because I would see their results like, shooting off the roof. So graduate from high school, going to college. And my college life started smoothly. I started doing the course that I always wanted to do, which was fashion designing and sewing.
So you were not studying what people imposed on you?
No, no. I was doing that, and then it went well. My first year, second year, and towards the end of my second year, my life just stopped, where my mom got very sick, and I had to take care of her because she couldn't work anymore, so she had to be home, and she didn't have a caregiver. So I chose, because I was the older daughter, and it was my responsibility. I put it on myself to do that. So I stayed home, took care of her.
So I had to put a pause on your course?
Yes, I did. And Mrs. Massey, I didn't know how I was going to resume, because in my mind, this is the situation at hand, and this is what I need to face now. And I didn't actually plan to say, okay, I'm going to resume, because I was not given that option, you know. And so took care of my mom, and then sadly she passed on.
Sorry to hear.
Thank you. She passed on, and then everything shattered. And when I had to now look at myself, I don't know whether I'm going to resume my studies. I don't have a mom anymore. It was very imbalancing for me. And also I had to step up at home. I did have my dad around, so it was me now having to take care of him, and then stepping up in the house for my siblings. It was a lot.
And the dream of getting your diploma?
I would say that it was, I didn't know what to think at the time.
I have here a question that came for them, but I would like to shift this question to you. They say, who gets anxious or stressed about going home because you feel responsibility for lifting your family out of a difficult situation? You brought that upon yourself.
Upon myself. No one brought that upon me. I can't sit here and say that it was imposed upon me. It was not. I brought it upon myself. And when now I had to resume, I remember going back to school that first day. And everyone that I started with, because the process of my mom getting sick, it took like a year or more than a year. So the people that I started off with already, they are gone
Far
ahead. Yes. And then I'm meeting new people who are just starting. So I'm stuck in the middle. I'm like, do I start again? But I've come so far, you know. And so I asked if I could resume. They said you can if you want. It was just like a lost case. It was, they treated it as someone who, they didn't expect me to come back, to be honest. It was because many people drop out anyway, you know. So they said you can resume, but you'll see how you structure yourself, because we don't know how to accommodate you because you're halfway through. We've already passed.
You did 1 year, you stopped for 1 year, now you had to resume, and they didn't know if you would pick up.
Yes. And so I said, I will pick up. I'll do my best. So what I did was, now my finances were a struggle because mommy used to take care of them. So what I did was, okay, I found a job.
So now you had to work and study together.
Yes, I did. Found a job. Thankfully, it was in the same line as what I was studying. And so I said I'll continue my studies, but part-time. So my studies were on the weekend, and then I would work permanently during the week. And then submit assignments the way I was supposed to. But what I told myself is that I'm going to graduate. Now, it was not easy, because stepping up at home, you're doing the cooking, you're taking care of your dad who's working, you need to take care of yourself, you need to work.
You need to be there for your younger sister.
My younger sister. I also need to be there, be present at school, you know, and my results I need to pass, I need to graduate. So it was not only pressure at school, it was pressure at home, pressure at work, because at work, things are demanded from you as well. And so I would say that it came to a point where I had to pause and tell myself that it doesn't matter how long it takes me. What matters is that I'm going to get there. That's what matters, because I ended up graduating, but not with the class I started with.
Yeah, of course.
I graduated with a whole new lot of people, And it was so awkward because I was not with them every day. So I wouldn't say they were peers, I would be part-time and then I'd just pop up on graduation. They were like, who are you? But it did happen. So I'd say
it started with a decision.
Yes.
That you could manage that trial and you would push it through.
Yes. And I would say what played a big role was discipline. Discipline played a big role because...
I think she's already assisting you guys.
It did play a big role because I had to step up.
Yeah.
And the moment I realized I had to step up, it was only discipline that would push me forward because I had no other reason to continue. Because, to lose your mom, someone that you depend on, is not
difficult.
Easy. So, and then at the same time you have, my brother was making it, because they didn't stop, My sister also, she continued with her studies. And
how unfair, if you think at the end of the day, how unfair that among the three, two were going on and she had to stop and take upon herself the responsibility of the household. But this is why she's here. She faced the same conflicts and pressure that you may be going through, but she made it. So that makes her to sit aside and to throw the questions to you guys. How long is it that you graduated for? Years, because you're already married. You're already doing the work of God. No?
It's years now, yes.
So you really overcame.
Hi, my name is Tanya, and the pressure that I faced mostly was inside of myself. Because that kind of girl, good girl that parents like to compare you with, the one that they say, you should be more like her, you should behave more like her, you should do well like her. That good girl was me. And that made pressure in me because I would always want to make sure that I'll fulfill people's expectations, especially my parents. And because of that, I ended up making many wrong choices, especially in my career. No? And I started first after matric doing linguistics at university. And that didn't work out. Even though I loved studying, I loved reading, I thought that would be enough, but it wasn't. So my parents used to say that they saw that I had this ability of debating and maybe I would be good in doing law and I liked reading. So I thought it was going to be a good idea, especially because I liked to read and to study a lot. So I thought law wouldn't be a big deal. So that was when I came to South Africa. But here they didn't allow me to go straight to university and they told me to start first with matric. First I had to learn English, go to matric, and that was not easy. It was a lot of pressure on me, and because of me being alone with no family support around me, it was also very hard. But I tried to push in because, remember, I wanted to make sure that I pleased my parents and I would always remain on top in their eyes. So because of that, then I pushed myself and I was able to enter into a good university. Actually, I was accepted in 2 top universities in South Africa, and I chose one of them that I liked the most, and I went to do the course. Unfortunately, they didn't allow me to do law at first. They told me that I should do first the 3 years bachelor first, and then after I'll be able to do law. That was a step back for me, and I didn't know what else I could do. That's when came the suggestion from friends and family saying that maybe I could do BCom economics. Can you see, I was not deciding for myself. I was always listening to others and wanting to do what others wanted me to do, especially my family. My first year, it was tough, but I pushed through, I made it. But my second year, it was tough. I could realize that just the fact of me enjoying studying or reading was not enough. I didn't have patience at all for what I was reading, what I was studying. I was getting bored, I was getting exhausted. I didn't know what to do, and I didn't have anyone to ask help from. I failed one module that year. I couldn't pay with it, but my mother encouraged me and said, no, you can do it, just push. And I felt very down, I can say, because I knew that even though she was not complaining about it, I knew that I failed her. That's when I started going deep inside myself and thinking of what I wanted really to do, instead of just doing things that would be pleasing others or pleasing my parents. It was not easy, because my parents were shocked when I decided that I wouldn't continue anymore the degree that they wanted me to do, because I even came to the conclusion not even law I wanted to do, because law was something that was just imposed on me, and then I assumed that was something that would be nice for me to do. But I decided, no, I'm going to give myself the time, the investment on myself to find out what is it that I really want. And that's when, with the help of people around me, I was able to find my path. And my path was in computers, something that I had ignored for so many years because I thought that it wouldn't be something that I could follow as a career. And that's what I did. I went through it, and that made me happy, and I enjoyed it. And my parents then, they also ended up supporting me, because they saw, even though it was not something that they wanted me to do, they never thought I was going to do, it was something that made me happy, and they were able to accept it. And myself as well, I was more than happy, because now I was able to do something that I enjoyed, I loved, and I didn't need to have that pressure anymore in me to please others or to fulfill anyone else's dreams. I had my dream to be fulfilled.
Now, we have structured the show in this way. We are going to make these beautiful questions that we have here, like always, more than 20. Let's see how far we can go. And they are going to raise their answer. Show your little cards, please. You see? Either yes or no. And whoever says yes, it will elaborate. Are you ready, girls?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Let me see. So, let me start with expectations. Who used to think that varsity would be fun, a real adventure, but it didn't turn out that way? Oh.
So last year I was doing matric, and I had really, really big expectations. I had really thought that varsity is all about looking pretty, having money, because I hardly used to have money
Not
in high
for you
school.
Anyway.
So having money and all of that, and I thought it's going to be a very nice experience. Until I came. For the first few months, it was exciting because it's a different environment. But as the semester goes by, I can see, this is really, really hard. There's no time for socializing. There's no time for playing around. I even really thought that, matric was much better than this. There's no time for you to play around. You really need to work all the time. So, yeah.
So you didn't find fun, and by the way, I think all of you, right? Now, what is your question?
My question is financial pressure.
Ooh, in South Africa.
How many of you have had to fight for a bursary just to further your studies?
As I was about to do my first year, because I had to repeat my first year, so I did not have funding because I had failed. So I had to fight. I had to go to NSS offices. I had to email them, stay on calls for hours, waiting for people to also check in with their NSFIS. So I stayed 2 weeks without having NSFIS at the start of the academic year.
So let me understand. The school year the varsity year had already started, and you couldn't attend the class because you didn't have your answer.
Yes, Ms. Masha, and I was in Cape Town. So I stayed in Cape Town for 2 weeks before coming this side because I did not have funding at all.
So you are Cape Townian?
Yeah.
Not in Joburg.
Yes. Yeah, so I struggled with that. But then at the end of the day, they did reply, and I did get funding. And then I came this side, I think in the 3rd week of Feb, to start. And I was very left behind because classes that had already commenced. So yeah, that was very stressful.
I would like to ask, what made you decide to try again? Because you mentioned that you failed the first year. And what made you decide to try again?
I think having the support of my family, they were very supportive, especially my mom, my grandmother. They would be like, you can't stop now. And also, I'm the first person to go to varsity at home, so everyone was just running behind me, and they didn't shame me for repeating or for failing some things with the course that I was doing. So the support of my family and just having confidence in myself that I can do it. So I think that really pushed me to try again.
That's great.
That's great.
Decision. Now, Tando, I think this question is for you. Who has ever felt that failing or dropping out of varsity would bring shame to their family, a shame they might never be able to overcome? I wanted to know from all of you, actually. Yes. So let us give a chance to Tando.
Well, I also had my challenges in varsity because in high school, failing was never, I never thought of it. It was never a thing of, I might fail this semester or this term, as they used to call it in high school. So when I got to varsity, I realized how things are different. If you get a 52%, it's like a distinction. You're so happy because the modules are just so challenging. So there was a point where I would write a test and I would fail. And that brought so much, how do I put it? It was like this fear of, oh my goodness, there's actually a possibility that you might fail a year. And how would that look back home? And back home, I have uncles, my mom, they went to college, not necessarily university. So coming to university in Joburg is such an achievement.
So you also not at Joburg?
No, I'm from Port Elizabeth.
Oh my gosh, classes here, lost here. Totally lost. This is a Zulu lady anyway. Okay?
Yeah, so you're so far from home, hours away.
Yes, in a very different environment.
Exactly, with no family here. So now imagine going back home and you're telling them, I failed, I have to. It scared me because I felt like I would have shamed them and myself because people are looking up to you, and now you come back and you tell them, actually, I failed. So that was always there. So for me, it was always a thing at the back of my mind because reality hit me. This is not a cruise. You're not just going to pass all the time. There is actually a possibility.
So there was a strong pressure on you. I have to make it no matter what.
I find it so interesting that she mentioned that. It's funny how when we're in college and school, the greatest thing we think about is our family. That we have to pass because we don't have an explanation when we go back home. There's no explanation to come home with it. Already from young age, when you have that circle on your mark and you have to show your report to your parents, it's already hard. So we grow up with that. So it's more pleasing them than us achieving for ourselves.
Exactly.
I went through that because in my home, if you didn't get an A, it was not good enough. B already, it was not the case. I remember one time, because, my parents were never together. I remember one time I was 8, 9 years old, and I got a C. That was family meeting. They called my father to come. And for me to explain why I got a C. And I don't even remember the subject, but for sure it was one that I didn't like. For sure. And why did I get a C in that? And I had to explain not only to my grandmother, to my grandfather, to my mom, and also to my father, who was never present because he was just seeing me once a week. Can you imagine? I wonder if today our children, I'm talking about our youngsters, and we had a very interesting show in December with them, very eye-opening show, and they can speak their minds. My husband was backstage and he said, did someone tell these kids they are not adults? Because I think they don't know. Do they feel the same pressure, do you think? Your siblings, for instance, do they go through the same pressure?
I think so.
The parents didn't change much.
No.
And you guys, you have younger siblings. How is it at your home? Do they demand good grades?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
I think this is throughout the world, isn't that?
Yes.
You have one question.
I do. So the question goes, have you or someone you know ever come close to being financially excluded from university? And how did that make you feel?
So for me, it was a very close friend of mine. So having to see someone we've been through together since the first year of varsity until our last year of varsity. And they had to be sleeping on campus because there was no accommodation. Traveling back and forth from home was a challenge. So as a friend, I had to be there to try support through the sleepless nights on campus. Also school, the side it's doing the most. The side it's finances, trying accommodation, and as far as rejections. So it was very hard for them. It went on for the whole year. They only got, because that was our third year, they only got a bit of funding with our final year, which was last year. But for the whole of our third year, we had to be doing the sleeping over on campus, trying to study, and it was really hard. It was hard. It was.
And I guess that affected also your performance.
Actually, funny enough, that pushed us to work hard. That really pushed us to work hard.
So the challenge pushed you to do better?
Yes, it did. Because we're like, this is our third year, and literally we sing our final year the following year, and we can't make mistakes anymore. So it didn't allow that situation to impede us from doing better. So we're like, we'll just use this opportunity, we'll work hard, we'll study hard. And here this year, we are done with our varsity.
That's wonderful.
Beautiful.
Now we are going to go to the streets, and we have some street interviews to hear from them what was or is, in preparing those who come into varsity, their pressure point. Let us watch.
Hi, Women to Women family. We are here at WITS, University of Witwatersrand. We are at the peak time of the exams, and students are currently writing exams. So come with me and we're going to interview one of them about how they're feeling the pressure point. Let's go. Hello, Hang, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. Which year are you doing this year?
I'm doing my final year.
And your course?
I'm studying an LLB, so a law degree.
What exactly have you faced in terms of pressure? Which point was it was too much for you in varsity?
I think it will always boil down to the academic pressure, especially around exam time, especially when you are in your final year or at the end of your year, academic year. You have that pressure of knowing that you need to pass your modules, because if you potentially fail something, it could block something next year.
So, Roleta, tell me, you just came from an exam, right now? And how was the paper? Give us the feeling.
Guys, I think, I don't know.
You don't know how it was?
I really think I don't know English at this point. I don't know why I'm doing this degree.
What has been your biggest challenge since you've got to university?
Attending lectures.
Seriously?
Yeah. I thought I would be able to do that, but like every beginning of the semester, I'm like, I can do this. And then I'm just like, no, I can't.
It's really hard. What has been the biggest pressure point that you've experienced since you've been in varsity?
I think in the other university, final year was the biggest pressure, because you have a lot of things in mind. You need to qualify for, because you can't do an honors if you don't qualify for it. The pressure is very high, I don't want to lie. And here at WITS, there is something that they call the edge. So yeah, you get the edge.
You get the edge. But when was your last paper that you just wrote?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. And which module was it?
Algebra.
And how was it?
It was okay. I mean, I could have done better, but did my best.
Passed.
Oh, passing is not in question.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. And what course are you doing?
Computer science.
Yeah. And then how has been the transition from your expectation that you had from matric, from high school, then you came to really to face the reality of varsity?
For me, it has been tough because I've been to UP before. So that fun I was thinking about actually ended up hurting me in a way. Maybe you shouldn't just be here for fun. You should be studying. Well, you can have fun. Like, you shouldn't just be studying, but prioritize books first.
Okay.
What was your expectation about it?
I was told that matric is worse. Until I got here, this was the worst. Yeah. So I'm just glad that I went through the challenges that I went through this year. It made me grow as a person.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. You?
Which year are you doing this year?
I'm doing second first.
Okay. And which course?
Biological sciences.
And you just came from an exam now.
Yeah.
Please tell me the course and the module and how was it?
So it was chemistry.
Yeah. How was it?
It was bad.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad.
Bad like I passed mark or bad?
I don't know.
And then what has been your biggest challenge, your biggest pressure that you have faced in university?
In university?
Could have been family pressure, financial pressure, academic pressure. What has it been for you?
Okay, besides academic pressure, financial pressure. So, yeah, because I don't have funding. I'm not funded. So that's also something that's making me so stressed because imagine failing, but then your parents are paying. So that.
And that's it. Thank you so much.
Guys, I think we are answering to some of your questions and doubts, and we're learning from you what has been your pressure point. So that we are going to carry on. Are you ready, guys?
Yes, Ms. Marsha.
So I have a question here. Who imagined their degree would be a straight path to success, but now finding themselves questioning their direction or purpose? So we have 2 years, and I wanted to hear from Silo and Tando. Who goes first?
I'll go first. The course I'm doing, I never applied for it, and I never really wanted it from the beginning.
Oh my gosh.
But I came in thinking, I just get in, I do, because it's a 3-year course. So I do it for 3 years and I'll get into medicine. Medicine
So you
was,
wanted meds?
Yes. I wanted health science, because now I'm currently doing a science degree. It's in the science faculty. So in my mind, it was a thing of, you're going to come, you're going to finish your 3 years, or even 2 years, and just bridge into medicine. And it didn't go like that. First year came, second year came, third year came, and I finished the entire degree. And I had initially thought I can just do it and bridge, as I said, but I didn't know I was competing. It's actually not just me, it's international students, students from other varsities, high schoolers, so it didn't go as smooth as I wanted, but I continued and I finished it because I had no choice.
But did you enjoy your course?
No.
So you didn't find direction or purpose in what you studied?
No.
Your mind is still in medicine?
It's still there. It was just a reinforcement as to this is not what I want.
What do you plan to do from now?
So from now, I plan to start a new degree in health, because that's where I'm headed. But even with the one that I have, I will make use of it, because it can't just stay at home. But my heart is in health. That's where I'm going.
I have a question. So when you'd wake up every day to go to school, how would you feel?
It was more of, I have to do this. It was not a thing of, I'm so excited, I'm going to learn this and this now, something I can implement. Because I want to put whatever I'm learning into practice. But if I'm learning it and I don't really see myself practically in it, sometimes it would just be a thing of, I just wish I were in medicine. I just wish I were in health. I would always be looking at the other health students and I'm like, you're living my dream. And sometimes people even complain about it. And I'm like, I wish I were complaining. It would be better if I were complaining than something I'm enjoying. But now I'm complaining in something that I'm dreading.
Silu.
So for me, funny enough, it was also this similar situation where I wanted to do medicine.
And we need doctors in schools.
So,
and not in schools. We need doctors in
the
hospitals.
hospital.
We have
Yeah.
a shortage of doctors here.
So for me, my application wasn't being processed, so I had to go in person to inquire. When I get there, they tell me, unfortunately, medicine got full the previous Monday. So for me, it was like shattering because it's like, yes, you did qualify, but because whatever the reason was for it not to being processed, I'm not going in there anymore. And then they're like, okay, your second option is chemical engineering. You do
Oh my
qualify.
gosh, what a difference.
Yeah. They're like, you do qualify, here's the sports. And then when we started, I thought chemical engineering was based on chemistry. Little did I know it was the total opposite. So going in there is like your maths, your physics, and I'm just like, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I thought it was. But I saw that since I'm here, I will have to try embrace it. You know, I just had to come to be content with myself that this is where you are now. And this is the path you currently have in front of you that you can take. So I just carried on with it. But now it is a bit scary when I also just look at how some of the friends I had who graduated earlier, they're still unemployed. They're still looking for jobs. And one, we're competing with a whole lot of people in our class. There was like a lot of us competing with that. Two, it's something that I'm not fully passionate about. So that becomes a two-way factor of like, you know, it's still hard, but it's like, okay, I'll do it since I'm here and I've obtained this degree. As she said, you can't just let it sit at home, gather dust. So I might as well put it into application as well.
You know, Mrs. Marcia, I sense from both of them the spirit of decision.
Yeah.
It's powerful because even though they are not happy and it's not what they wanted, but they're deciding to do it.
And best, they're deciding now to make good use of what they studied.
Yes.
Did you feel like to give up during these 3-4 years because you graduated?
There were moments where I was just like, this is so tiring, this is a lot. But thinking of why did I even come here in the first place? The fact that I got an opportunity to be here, I can't waste something like that. So many people after matric, they sit at home, but I was granted this opportunity. So it was a thing of as much as I'm complaining, but I'm grateful for this. And let me just continue and finish with it.
Now you have one more question.
I do. Very interesting one. So it goes. So with much talk about the future of AI, have you ever found yourself...
That is serious.
Have you ever found yourself doubting how valuable your degree will be in the years to come?
Oh my gosh, we got 4 yes. And we have to choose one to answer.
Yes.
Let's go.
I'm studying BSc in geology. So with AI coming in, there's a lot that's changing. For example, things now are not done manually. We have to use softwares, we have to use machines to scan the rocks, to go underground, softwares to draft maps. So AI is really coming in, and the course that I'm doing doesn't really teach us how to use Python, how to code, how to use softwares. So it's really a struggle. You have to go the extra way. You have to sign up for courses to do coding, to learn how to use softwares. And that is really a struggle, especially for disadvantaged kids who have no funding or do have funding, but their funding can only go so long. So AI is really a stressful topic when it comes to geology.
I think it's common sense that it's a threat to all, if I can call professions, and even to the point of vocation. Because we're pastor's wife, and would you believe that we have seen AI pastors created by AI, but funny enough, when you stop to hear the message they're giving, and be aware, people will not be able to identify this is a real pastor, this is an AI pastor. When you hear the message, there is a little twist from the Word of God. And just to think that people will feed spiritually from that context, which, when you stop to think, you know, something like, let me give an example to illustrate. We know for a fact that to commit suicide is not from God. But in the speech, it's more or less like he lost his battle against depression. And we have to understand he commits suicide and he is in heaven. So people will absorb that message as if coming from a real pastor, when, as a matter of fact, is an AI production. So that's a scare to all of us, that we need to be attentive.
And another thing, Mrs. Mase, the world is moving at such a fast pace. And when someone is going through something, for example, maybe I'm at the mall and I'm looking for something and then the person doesn't understand what I want, I pull out my phone, Google it quickly, AI gives me a picture, then I show it.
Who doesn't do it? You're just shocked.
Yes. So even when those who go through problems and don't have people to talk to, the first closest thing is the internet. You pick up the phone, you're like, what to do when I'm feeling this way? And the internet gives you that. So I think it's so dangerous now.
It is.
And you mentioned that we need to stop to think. That's the important part.
Yeah. And something else, you need to have a distinction in what you do so that you can conquer the market out there.
Hello, everyone. My name is Baituti, and my pressure was self-inflicted. So what happened was, after high school, I had this grand plan, a 5-year plan for my life, in which I had decided that in 3 years, I was going to finish my degree. In the 4th year, I was going to do my postgraduate degree. And in the 5th year, I'm going to have a job and live a super successful life. But that is not exactly how things turned out. So I did go to Varsity and I did study, but immediately when I started my course, I realized that it was something that I didn't like. But because I was so steadfast in the plan that I had for my life, I was not willing to pivot, I was not willing to change or adjust anything. It wasn't that my family had financial problems or I couldn't pay for my schooling or that my family would have any kind of problem for me to change courses or pivot. It was something that I inflicted upon myself. I had this clear goal and I didn't want to deflect, not for any reason. Okay, so I completed my degree and believe it or not, I did my postgraduate degree, I did my honors degree. And in the 5th year, when I was supposed to find work and be successful, remember, that's when the struggles began. Praise God, later on, I managed to find a job, however, in a different field. And who knew that a different field could be where I would be most happiest? I started working in a job in communications and public relations, and that's when I figured out that I could have done that all along. So it's then that I realized that, you know what? Life does not always turn out the way that we think. And I wasn't supposed to be so hard on myself. My 5-year plan was great. It's great to have plans, but it's also good to adapt and adjust to the situations that life throws in our way. So that was the pressure that I inflicted on myself, and it's a pressure that I hope you don't do with you.
Now, my final question for today. And that's a serious one because family will be watching. Who sometimes, or who of you wonders if all the efforts and sacrifices that you are making will be enough to change the situation at home or at least make them happy? I have a no and 2 yeses. Who wants to answer?
I'll take it. I do, because making people happy and satisfied can be a challenge on its own. And the whole reason why I'm in Varsity and working hard is because I want to find work, be financially stable, be able to help out at home. But do I think it will ever fully change or make them entirely happy? I don't think so. Because I have relatives who are financially well, buy a car, the nicest clothes, but are they really satisfied? Not really, as I would expect them to be. So me, on my own, how would I then make all of them happy? So I don't think.
So it's really pressure that you're putting so much effort without the notion that might not have any appreciation for that. Your final question.
Okay, mine goes like this. Do you ever feel like you're just going through the motions, studying to pass rather than learning to grow?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I'll take it. So when I came from high school, I had that mindset that I am going to learn to be knowledge. I'm going to go to Varsity to learn how to be an accountant. The first months were good. I was learning, I was growing. But as time goes by, I'm like, no, I just want to get this and pass. I just want to know this and just pass. And another painful thing about this is that sometimes you go back to the content and you review and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know anything about this. And sometimes I even question myself, how will I cope when I have to work and apply this knowledge that I have? But I'm like, oh no, because it's first year, so I think we'll see it throughout the years. But I do experience that at times, yeah.
All of you. You totally agree to that?
Yes.
Just before we go on to God's point in this, I wanted to let you know that we have a project that we call the Varsity project from VYG, catering exactly for students. Because it's a fact. Pressure is there. Reality versus what you expected and how to deal with that. Count on them.
Varsity is supposed to open doors, but for many students, the door is locked before they even begin. The university's project in VYG exists to change that. We stand with students facing real pressure, academics, mental health, and the question no one prepares you for: what's next? Through mentoring, academic support, and career development, the university's project doesn't just help students stay enrolled, we help them finish strong and step into their future prepared. The university's project. We are forming visionary youth.
Hi, my name is Albertine. So with me, I face pressure in different ways. So after high school, I enrolled at a private institution, and with private institutions, they don't accept bursaries. So my parents had to fund everything. So I went through first year, which was good. I didn't really face much pressure there. And then going into my second year, that's when COVID hit. And during that time, I realized that I can't rely on my parents for everything, because they also had other expenses and other things to take care of. And so during that time, I started working. So I had a full-time job, and then I was also tutoring, and afterwards, I still had to make time for my studies. So I remember days after knocking off at work, immediately I would get home and I would start tutoring. Then after tutoring, I still had to help out at home. And after helping out at home, I still had to sit down and study. The pressure was really high. Like, the pressure became too much. It was intense. The pressure was mounting. And with work and with school, deadlines would sometimes collide, because I still had to give my best at work, and also I had to do well at school and also give my best to my students. And I remember there were days where we would get our projects or our assignments at school, and I could only do them literally on the last day. And I remember at actually this one day where I submitted an assignment like 5 minutes before deadline, 5 minutes before everything was closed. So that was really hectic. And I went through varsity. It was really hectic. I remember there were days where I thought I would not make it because the pressure was too much. And another thing, while I was still pursuing my degree, I was also doing a short course on the side. So I was doing my short course, then I was doing my degree, then I still had my tutoring, I still had my full-time job. So it was really a struggle juggling everything at once. I remember actually my final year, that's when the pressure was really mounting. I remember we had an assignment, actually it was a final year project. So with that project, if I couldn't complete it, then I would not graduate. And other students had like 3 to 4 months to complete it, but I remember I faced a lot of setbacks to a point where I only had 3 weeks to complete what others completed in 3 to 4 months. And during that time, I was also doing my final exams. I was still coming to work full-time. And I remember getting a call from my lecturer at one time telling me that I might not graduate because I was so behind with a lot of things. And now the struggle was, how do I complete everything? How do I still graduate and give my best? But I know I was determined to graduate. I was determined to get my degree. I was determined to complete my short course. And I remember, but of course, all of that required a lot of sleepless nights. I remember there were days where I would only sleep for an hour or two just so I could get everything done. And eventually everything just, fell into place. Eventually, I managed to graduate. I managed to secure my degree in IT. And I also got completed my short course in creative writing. And everything worked out as difficult as it was. I'm really glad that I did not give up on myself. I'm really glad that I pushed myself. And today I'm a graduate and I'm happy. I'm very happy.
Don't you think God knew that we would go through pressure in many areas of our life? And many times we would feel that we were about to break. So let us go to His Word and see what is His point in this. In 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 8, we read this: "We are hard pressed on every side." Oh yes, we are. Yet not crushed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. They are Christians, if you miss that point. I'm a Christian. She is a Christian, but that does not avoid us to be pressed from every corner, to face frustration, to face disappointment, to have that imbalance from expectations and reality. However, because God is out there, and we believe in Him, we are not crushed. Yes, we are pressed. Yes, there are moments that we feel we are not going to make it, but the strength that comes from Him makes us to pick up the pieces and to go on. We are perplexed, we are surprised. Sometimes we don't even know what to do. Sometimes we are caught by surprise with circumstances. Sometimes what we have to face is so big that we get shocked, but we never in despair, because the Word of God will guide us. The Word of God will motivate us. The Word of God will strengthen us, and above all, will encourage us. They have been pressed. Mandisa had been pressed. I had been pressed, not only in varsity, because I would work throughout the day, and go to varsity at night and do my assignments over the weekend without any rest. But that was not all. That prepared me for the many challenges that I would have to face. How did I overcome them? getting the strength and encouragement from God. Mandisa, what it all means for today's program?
So what it all means is that everyone goes through pressure. I went through pressure. The ladies went through pressure. You're probably going through it right now. What matters is the decision you're going to make to overcome that pressure. You either can decide to allow it to overwhelm you, or you can decide to allow it to help you to grow. I would rather prefer to grow, wouldn't you? So with God, He's the one who's going to be able to teach us to be disciplined in our decision so that we can make it. And also in making it, we can overcome and help others to overcome. Someone mentioned, one of the ladies rather, mentioned that she knew a friend who couldn't pay for the scholarship. So they had to go through all means to do that. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there. What matters is you decide to get there.
Now, before we let them go, you're going to tell me your pressure point in one word. Silo.
Work life.
To find a job.
Yes.
Tando.
The new degree.
A new degree. How to do it and find finance for it.
Exactly. My last year of studying.
That is pressuring you.
Yes.
Time management. Yeah, I think.
With all that you have to do.
Yes, I think that's what pressuring me. Keeping a balance between myself, my responsibilities that I have, and school and family. Yeah, I think that's...
I hope you remember, you are pressed but not crushed. You are perplexed but not in despair. And to prepare you for what is to come, please, we didn't mean to scare you, but we just prepared you to what is to come with the assurance that you're going to make it through. I would like to pray for you. Let us pray. Our Lord and our Father, my first prayer goes to all of those who are preparing themselves to embark in this new journey in life. The first year, they're so excited, and maybe they are somehow deceived that it will be a very smooth journey, only to find out things might not go the way they planned. May you encourage them first to be in your presence, because when we are one with you, then we can tackle whatever comes our way. Second, to make a decision that whatever they face, it's not to put them down, it's not to destroy, to make them to give up. Rather, it is for them to be strong and to conquer and to overcome what they have decided to study for, even if it's their second option. Who knows? The second option will really become the most important one in their lives. I also pray for those who still have years ahead of them, for those who are concluding their courses this year, and the frustration and the anxiety to think about their work life, how they will secure a position in the industry they studied for when we live in a country which scores 42% of unemployment. The challenges are so many. Doubts and fears are in every corner. But Lord, I bring to them one assurance. With you, everything is possible. And if they turn to you with their frustrations, with their fears, with their insecurities, or even the simple things they have to plan about, they are going to make it through. You have been with us, and you are going to be with each one of them. I pray also for those who were counting on finding a place to study, and sadly they received their results and they didn't make it. It is frustrating, but that's not the end of the line. That could be actually the beginning of a new journey. They will study hard, they will push harder, and at the end of the year, they will count it as a bonus. because they are going to go and do what they have planned, they dreamed about. Comfort them. At the same time, encourage all of them. And through our prayer, I bless all the students of South Africa, of Africa, because as a matter of fact, we know they are our future leaders. They are our future doctors, our future engineers. They are going to hold the success of this country and continent on their shoulders. So prepare them, I pray. In Jesus' name, amen. I want to thank you all for making the time among this busy schedule to be with us, to be real, to prepare them for what is about to start, and to encourage them to continue to go on. Thank you for being here. Was it too hard?
It was lovely, Mrs.
You
Martha.
see?
Thank you.
We are very nice people. Until next week, God bless you all. Bye-bye.
The first step to healing is simply reaching out. If you or someone you know needs support, email woman2woman@uckg.org.za or call 0800 330 320. Our toll-free helpline offers confidential, non-judgmental support.